Here at PolicyEngine, we're building technology to compute the impact of public policy. In this video, I'll show you PolicyEngine US, which we're launching today, to calculate the impact of US tax and benefit policy on an individual household, both under current law and under reformed policy. So if you go to PolicyEngine.org, this is the page you'll see, and you can click either to our PolicyEngine US app or the UK app that we launched last year. Let's go into the US app. And our screen shows you on the left side, we've got a bunch of menus of things you can specify about your household. So that's everything from marital status and number of children to your income and demographics. Here at the top, we'll also see later on, we'll come to the policy reform page. And in the center are the policy parameters based on the selected menu. So let's say we are a single parent of one. We can go to location. Currently, this is California only. We can skip that. And we can enter, let's say, 12,000 annual housing costs, so 1,000 per month. And let's also say this household has $50 per month in broadband cost. We can move on to income. And let's say they're making $3,000 per month in wages. And that is all that we need to calculate net income. Here we see the net income for this household is $34,000 or so. And that's the sum of their market income, the $3,000 per month we specified earlier. They get a small amount of benefits from the Affordable Connectivity Program, which is a broadband subsidy of up to $30 per month. And they also face some taxes. So they pay payroll taxes, but they get some income taxes back thanks to refundable tax credits at the federal level. Still, their net taxes are negative, so $34,000 is the total. Now we can also see what happens if their employment income changes. How will that affect the net income? And here, this gray line is where we're at today, so about $36,000. That's about the $34,000 we saw before. And it goes up as they earn more. Generally falls as they would earn less, except they would become newly eligible for some programs here before at this cliff. And we can also see the marginal tax rates as a function of their income. And these big numbers are from the cliffs. That's all under current law. Let's go change the policy. And here on the left side, instead of household characteristics, these are the agencies and programs that we model for different policy parameters. So by default, we see the SNAP income limits, the gross income limit, and net income limit, which is after certain deductions. So this is how much you can earn after deductions as a share of the poverty line. And we can also change income tax schedules, tax credit parameters, as well as programs around school meals and the FCC, so broadband programs. But let's go back to the SNAP eligibility and change the net income limit from 100% to 200%. Now, if we go back to the household page, it's going to show us the change to their net income. And here we see their market income doesn't change, taxes don't change, but their benefits change quite a bit. So they go from $360 to almost $7,000 per year. We can deconstruct that and see that most of this is from SNAP. So because they're newly eligible for SNAP, they would get $5,500 per year in benefits. And that's really the sum of two parts. One is $20 per month from the normal allotment. So under normal rules, how much would they get? And then also the emergency allotment that California has introduced to bring people up to the maximum allotment if they're eligible for SNAP. And this is just during COVID. So some of those gets to $5,500, and then they're also eligible for free school meals and Lifeline because those programs have what's called categorical eligibility. So even though this household is not eligible for them under normal rules, they are eligible because they participate in SNAP. So that increases their net income by about $1,000 as well. Finally, we can go to how earnings affect you again. And this is going to show both the baseline policy So this is what we saw before, this gray line, and the reform. So this is going to be higher because they earn more, they get more net income as they earn through a certain range. We can also click the difference to see that specifically where we are here, this is about 6,500. That's what we saw just now in terms of net resources that they gain from the policy reform. And this policy reform would really only affect their net income from about 28,000 employment income to about 37,000 employment income. That is PolicyEngine US. You can also click this help icon in the bottom left if you'd like more information. And please check it out. We're going to be adding more programs, more states in the coming months, so we really value your feedback. Thank you.